All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xanderhall video. I look a little different, and I am in a bit of a different place, as you can see. A little bit of winter wonderland around me right now. We're in Shasta right now, just below Mount Shasta. It's pretty beautiful here. It's very snowy. This is the first time I've seen this much snow since I was 14 years old, so as you can imagine, as a Florida boy and then a SoCal boy, this is pretty exciting to me. Look at this thing. Look at this. Watch this. I bet there's a rock in there. I'm going to break my toe.
Probably just ice, to be completely honest.
Look at that snow. Awesome. Anyway, I want to talk with you guys today about there's a lot of birds calling. It's just like my normal videos. I want to talk with you guys today about something that I've been seeing popping off on Twitter for a little while now. And that is the proliferation of deepfake propaganda. I don't know how much you guys have seen it, but I know that for the last 2 days now, the first thing I see when I wake up and I check Twitter has been some right-wing propaganda account with tens of thousands, maybe just a few thousand likes in their post, and them making a very big claim about a event that's happening or a Democratic figure, and then adding a video. The video, of course, going viral along with it. The funny thing was, though, by the time I'd woke up to see these posts, Twitter had already gotten to them. Not banning them, not suppressing these tweets, or doing anything to actually stem the spread of misinformation. Like, Twitter isn't doing that. Twitter users added context and fact-checked these videos as being deepfakes. And I've seen in the last 2 days 3 of these big deepfaked videos going viral already. The first one was a clip of Joe Biden, in which an account tagging, I think it was Jack Sobiek? Is that his name?
Jack Sobiek, yeah.
Yeah, I think it tagged him. Was claiming that Joe Biden was calling for a draft of all men and women above the age of 18 to fight in Ukraine. And it was a video of Biden seeming to say that, but, you know, kind of robotic and weird because it was clearly AI deepfake, which did get corrected as. But tons of people in the comments believed it was real. It had lots and lots of likes, and, you know, people were believing it. People were falling for this shit. Obviously, by now, I imagine they figured out there's no draft. We're not being drafted out to war in Ukraine against Russia. But that video still, you know, reached a lot of people and probably freaked a lot of people out, and they believed it. Of course, after this was proven false, the account in question had to do some copium to try to backpedal about them posting blatant misinfo. And then the next one, was posted by another popular conservative account. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was like Amaze or something like that. It has like a stormtrooper profile picture. It's pretty popular.
Classic.
And, yeah, a lot of Star Wars fans tend to be chuds, especially the OG trilogy fans, like the ones that are super hardcore only OG trilogy. Those guys can
Yeah, you heard it here, folks. If you like the OG trilogy, you're a Nazi.
True,
That's what Zan just said, word for word.
If you like the original Star Wars trilogy, you're a Nazi. No, but seriously, like, if you think the Phantom Menace is bad, the OG Star Wars trilogy purists tend to be pretty chuddy as well. But this guy goes and he posts a video clip of what appears to be a plane, like a big passenger plane, lots of people on there, coming down on a runway, like sideways and just basically crash landing, right? And it was captioned, "This is what diversity hiring gets you. Expect more of this soon." A bunch of people in the comments when this was originally posted replied, "This looks like footage from a video game." But you can't really tell because the footage was purposely very blurry. Like, it looked like it was recorded at 480p, 280p, like on a shitty phone. Because, and thankfully, by the time I'd gotten to this tweet, Twitter users had already gotten to it as well, the fact check box had already been added on, pointing out this was Microsoft Flight Simulator. This person had written an entire thread doubling down on the video being real to people saying it looks fake for a whole day, talking about how this is an example of what will happen if there continues to be diversity hiring for pilots. Adds a bunch of articles that doesn't say what he claims they say, and just absolutely copes when he gets called out for posting a fake video. So that was, version number 2 of this happening. And then I wake up today, just today, and I check Twitter, and of course the first thing I see
Some squirrels.
is a not deep-faked video, at least this time, but still within the same ballpark. It's a video of Zelenskyy talking, and it's a very short clip where he says something about America's sons and daughters will have to fight against Russia, and then it like cuts off basically. And the caption says, Volodymyr Zelensky calls for Americans to be drafted to fight his war, quote unquote, in Ukraine. And this had, of course, already been fact checked by the time I saw it. Of course, this was not what he said. The full clip was added to the context box. And the full clip is him saying, if the U.S. does not stand up against, if the U.S. and its NATO allies do not stand up to Russia now, and Ukraine falls, then there will be no line of defense between America and its enemies, like Russia. That is an absolutely true statement, and I don't like those NATO buffer states do help to keep Russia from being right up our ass, right, and right up our allies' asses. So yeah, I mean, it was just another example of conservatives blatantly lying, blatantly editing. Like, you have to know you're dishonest and lying to like actively edit clips like that to post on the internet to push your agenda. But this is what conservatives deal in. They deal in misinformation. And while Twitter itself, the platform, refuses to do anything about this, despite the fact, from what I've seen, tens of thousands of people are falling for it, maybe way more. I've only seen 3 of these tweets so far that have gone viral. I expect this is just the beginning of deepfake AI-generated quotes being used to make propaganda. And I talked about it being a really big worry of mine a little while ago when, like, we first... That's awesome.
Just ice melt. You're
Yeah,
good.
I
No
love that
avalanche.
shit. That's dope. When this first, like, the AI generation chatbot stuff first started to become a thing, and the deep fake, like, really good deep fake of people things started to become a thing, I talked about how scared I was that people are going to start creating deep fakes of streamers and other content creators there just exists a lot of data of online to try to destroy their careers, like deep fake them saying things they didn't say, or deep fake them doing things they didn't do. And I didn't expect it would happen literally a couple months later. Like, I thought it would be like, the AI is going to get better, the stuff's going to get better, and it's going to start happening when it becomes less noticeable. But despite being pretty noticeable as it is, they're already doing it, and it's working. People are falling for it. I've even seen people arguing against the fact check box on Twitter, pointing out those videos were fake, saying, no, they're not, no, they're not. Like, what are you doing? How much of the Kool-Aid have you had to have drunk to be this far down that you think, all right, let's just manufacture videos to try to back up our agenda? So yeah, it's not that there's anything new about the right and lying, but I don't know, there's just something about this type of lying and the context, it just feels particularly disgusting to me. But yeah, do you have any extra thoughts, Stephen Mama?
No, I mean, I had concerns that it would reach this point as well. It makes a lot of sense to me that the moment that deepfake technology exists, that people would use it to try and fool uh, people who don't know any better. Usually, older folks or people who are really easily tricked to try and, I don't know, raise money for their campaigns to push a political agenda. It seemed like that was the obvious direction that deepfake technology was going to go. And especially with, like, the fact that platforms seem unwilling to do anything about it besides providing like a tiny text caption at the bottom that says this seems like it's fake, and then a swarm of people just bury it in comments and counter it anyway. I don't know. I feel like it should be a little more pressing to major tech platforms that people are why can't I get that word?
Popular?
Proliferating.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a hard one.
Apparently, it's too early for me. Proliferating, fake videos of world leaders that could, like, that seems like a pretty major concern to everybody that people should be able to agree upon, but I guess not.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems we're starting to move more and more into a post-truth world. I've seen more and more people who aren't even like super right-wing politically motivated or anything like that, not just arguing for their super like free speech absolutist positions, but also arguing just outright that they should be protected, that misinformation should be protected as free speech and should be platformed and boosted and seen by as many people as possible if those people want to see it and believe it. This idea that like, the best ideas will float to the top, and even if they don't, then I don't want to stop the bad ones from floating to the top anyway. It's a very bizarre age of I don't give a fuck about what happens that the irreverent kind of internet edgelords have entered, I guess. You know, it's always been kind of like that, but it feels a little more fuck
It's
the world and
accelerated.
everything in it than ever, you know? Yeah, like sort of demonizing the concept of caring about making the world a better place has always been a thing online in these communities, but now it's like just so much worse, I feel like, you know? Regardless, though, if you enjoyed this video, I think you guys know what to do. We're living in terrifying times. That's really the most that I have to say. But I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate your support. And as always, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.